Good evening. My name is Samantha Abili reporting on MMU TV. We begin tonight with the developing story that has gripped the community and sparked an urgent multi-agency manhunt. Police have issued an emergency alert following the abduction of a child earlier today. Timothy Karuga reports.
It's heartbreaking that in the current day and age in Kenya, almost every morning Kenyans wake up to a missing child's report. Citizens and netizens have raised concerns questioning child welfare organizations and the police in general, as it is now becoming a norm.
Somebody somewhere must be running an organization that steals kids.
And honestly, I think we need to consider that we have a national crisis on children missing. Maybe if we look at it that way, then we'll pay attention more and we'll act.
In Nyeri, a 5-year-old Travis Wanjohi who went missing on 30th March was 5 weeks later found dumped in River Ragati in Karatina, where his body was badly decomposed and some body parts detached, making it hard to identify the cause of death.
Aliyeko kwa gari ya 20k by saa 5:15, so nilikuwa natarajia by 2 hours atakuwa amefika Nyeri, pesi inaitwa Scooter, but hakufika. So nikakuwa na wasiwasi penye masaa ilikuwa inaenda. Nikapiga namba ya office, nikaambiwa hakuna gari iko na shida kwa barabara, so anaweza kuwa amefika. Ndio sasa nikaenda nikaripoti kwa polisi ya Nyeri. Alafu morning nikaambiwa kuna bagi zimepatikana Karatina na nisake. Sasa tuko na huku Karatina kumtafuta kutoka hiyo siku hajapatikana.
In Gatanga, authorities recovered the bodies of 2 children from the Kiama River, an 8-year-old boy and an estimated 4-year-old girl. However, no missing reports on the children were filed. While in Kamakis, a nanny abducted a 6-month-old infant left in her care and left her phone behind with all data erased, giving authorities a hard time tracing her. Statistics show that averagely 20 to 24 children go missing each day, and the government has termed it as everyone's responsibility to be vigilant and report any information regarding missing children. Reporting for MMU TV, Timothy Karuga.
A family in Kirinyaga County is desperately hunting for their 6-year-old daughter. CCTV footage has emerged showing young Chantel Nekesa walking alongside an unidentified man in Kamudanga village, Sagana, shortly after she left her school compound on Monday. Maxwell Lekesa reports.
CCTV footage extracted from a shop in Kamuthaga, Sagana, Kirinyaga County captures the final moment before 6-year-old Chantel Nekesa went missing on Monday. At 6 p.m., the child is seen walking alongside a man whose identity remains unknown. The pair briefly stops at the shop where a man is seen purchasing cakes before walking away with her. The shop owner says she did not raise any alarm at the time of purchase as nothing appeared unusual. Statistics from the Ministry of Gender, Culture and Services shows 10,581 cases of missing children were reported nationwide between January last year and March this year. Obed Maxwell reports.
Turning to politics and governance, the National Treasury is drawing a hard line against what it terms political propaganda surrounding the newly drafted Finance Bill 2026. Sostena Makori reports.
Speaking earlier today, Finance Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi stated that the new Finance Bill 2026 is more transparent and fair to local citizens. He further pleaded with the citizens to avoid political influence and work with the government. This comes at a time where key opposition leaders voted to reject the bill.
Pay their fair share of tax and pay it fairly. Equity. Let us treat people equally. If you're making money and you're paying tax, pay. Another person who is making money should also pay his fair share or her fair share of tax. That is what is in this bill. And that is what we are pushing forward. And that is what we are asking Kenyans to support.
Meanwhile, the government is moving swiftly to ease growing public anxiety over the cross-border health threat on Ebola. Wangui Ndegwa reports.
Facilities in my own country barely serve ordinary citizens, yet they are now expected to host people linked to an Ebola risk if God forbid, I contracted Ebola today. I highly doubt I will receive the same level of emergency attention. So why should Kenyans be the one carrying this burden?
We are also sending a warning to the judiciary. We have seen the way judiciary have been playing games, colluding with the state, and at the end of the day, make decisions that do not protect citizens. So on this issue, we are asking Madam Martha Koome and all the judicial officers, the matter is in court. We ask you that as you will make final decision on this matter today, please, if you make a decision that is against Kenyans, Kenyans will also deal with you.
Those are the concerns now being raised by many Kenyans as the government moves swiftly to ease growing public anxiety over the cross-border Ebola health threat. The debate follows reports that Kenya has agreed to support quarantine measures connected to American citizens exposed to Ebola during the ongoing outbreak in Central Africa. The proposal has sparked fear, frustration, and outrage among sections of the public, citizens questioning whether the country's healthcare system is prepared to handle such a sensitive health risk.
We are very confident as a country and as a government that number one responsibility is to protect the Kenyan. But as we protect the Kenyan, we can also extend this expertise, we can also extend this experience in the broader global health security response and assist the region, because outbreaks do not care about borders. They do not care about opinions. And you cannot close yourself and say that, oh, us, we are good, we are Kenya, we will protect our borders, and then just forget about it, And if we are to really look at our contribution to One Health, this is the time for Kenya to stand up.
Many Kenyans argue that local hospitals are already struggling with shortages of medicine, overcrowding, and limited emergency response resources. Critics now fear that hosting foreign quarantine facilities could expose ordinary citizens to unnecessary danger.
If America, that is known to have the best health care system in the world, are not sure they can handle that outbreak, what about Kenya, where we are unable to handle malaria? What about Kenya, where we have no equipment to deal with kidney failure? What about Kenya, where SHA is not working? What about Kenya, where there are no drugs?
Meanwhile, social media platforms remain flooded with reactions from frustrated citizens, many accusing leaders of ignoring the concerns of ordinary Kenyan in favor of international interest.
I want to tell President Ruto, don't do business with Kenyans. You want to kill more than 500,000 Kenyans because of money. You cannot bring Ebola in our country.
As tension continues to rise, the country now waits to see whether the government will consider the controversial quarantine arrangement or proceed despite the public criticism. Reporting for MMU Studio, I am Angoi Ndegwa.
And with that, to take a commercial break.
Some kids are just a step ahead. The winning difference? A spoonful of Blue Band. The only one with the right levels of omega-3 and 6. Blue Band, a spoonful of difference.
And also on politics, a massive security shakeup is underway tonight within the executive perfection ranks. Felix Iteye reports.
Senior officers in the Presidential Escort Unit have been reassigned as authorities move to strengthen presidential security. William Sawe has been appointed as the new commandant of the unit, replacing Noah Kirwamayo, who has been transferred to the police headquarters. The changes come after a security incident in Kilifi, where a member of the public breached the president's security perimeter during a rally. Security experts say the reshuffle reflects growing concerns over VIP protection and the need for tighter security measures at public events. Authorities have described the incident as serious breaches and says investigation and reviews of security protocols are ongoing.
Fuel price strike paralyzes transport as youths block private motorist, Lovin Odhiambo reports.
Transport operations have been cut short after Matatu operations staged strike over the rising fuel price. The demonstrators have blocked major roads and prevented private motorists from accessing different routes, causing heavy traffic and disrupting business activity. The authorities have since appealed for calm, and security officers have been deployed to ensure order. Reporting for MMU TV, Lovin Odhiambo.
Finally, on the Continental Cottage, celebrations are underway across the region as nations officially commemorate Africa Day. Kathleen Bochaberi reports.
Speaking during the commemoration, Zimbabwean President Emerson addressed a critical milestone for continental development. He outlined an ambitious roadmap, one that envisions a universal access to safety, managed water and sanitation service, even in times of crisis. However, the president's address did not shy away from the severe environmental crisis threatening this progress. He noted with deep concerns that the continent is currently witnessing unprecedented disruptions to its hydrological cycles. Despite this, immediate environmental hurdles, leaders reaffirmed their commitment to Agenda 2063, emphasizing that sustainable water infrastructure remains a non-negotiable pillar for Africa's growth. But beyond the policy discussions, the true spirit of Africa Day came alive through vibrant cultural displays. As you can see on your screen, communities came together in a powerful celebration of identity, unity, and resilience, expressing the rich heritage of the continent through traditional dance and music. It is a vivid reminder that while the challenges discussed by leaders are real, the resilience, optimism, and unyielding spirit of the people remain completely unbroken. I have been your presenter, Kathleen Bochaberi.
On to the sports desk. It is a historic night for the Kenyan football, and the Green Army is officially celebrating even without kicking a ball this weekend.
Anaambia weka penalty. Weka tuta hapo. Ilikuwa ameondoka uzuri Sharif Musa, lakini hapa kaikata Victor Kamungo. Wakafanya haraka tu kuanza mpira ule. Ukarushwa, Alpha akacheza naye Austin. Jafet Lihanda Mzungu ni kuzuia goli dhidi ya Double R. Austin, oh my! Amokoa Victor Kamungo. Hawaamini wanachokiona mashabiki. Aliona Victor Kamungo, hakushtuka kabisa, akasubiri kwanza mwili wa Austin umlekeze mpira unapokwenda.